This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cockerel. You can text the show on 81215, follow the show on Twitter @Frank on the Radio, email the show. What about that? Via the Absolute Radio website.
Bit retro, love it.
Yeah, ooh, lovely, cosy emails. You can print them off.
You can.
What about a telex? They could send us a telex.
What is that?
I don't know. It was in
it's
the 90s.
one of those words, isn't it? You never quite get your head around. Is there any news from the outside world yet?
Yeah, we've just had 3 texts saying win. Win,
Yes.
win. I don't know what that is.
I think it was from Charlie Sheen. I was with him last night.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
winning. Hashtag winning.
Yeah. They think we're the competitions line, Frank. We're not the competitions.
You don't think it's Winnie Mandela hasn't died? Is she all right? Is that how they? I always thought that's how they'd tell me. I'd just be. They'd be too upset to say the whole thing.
When you go, I'll just say skin.
Yeah, skin. Win,
Yeah.
win.
No, I don't think
Queen for when Her Majesty. You don't think I haven't heard anything.
No, I don't think it is Winnie Mandela. But
No.
yes, there will be messages forthcoming when I find some.
She's one of my unlikely crushes.
Yes, I know.
Is she?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think she's very lovely. I understand she has a tempestuous personality.
It's
Somewhat.
quite high maintenance, I think.
Maybe, but, often the way with the beautiful, wouldn't you say? Look at yourself.
Oh.
Dun, 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 dun.
Odd that he was looking at me during that.
Sorry, that's a call for me. Oh, I know what I wanted to run by you.
Go on.
Yeah.
My wife.
Is it a business plan?
It's a business plan. Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
If you
Never
ran
done a
business
business plan in my life.
Imagine if you set up a business, Frank.
Even when you set up Gap.
No, but I didn't handle that. So I was the creative
Oh, I see.
in the Gap thing.
He was, yeah.
I had the idea for Gap, and I
Yeah.
said, let's put it really big on the clothes. And they said, people won't want to advertise. I said, we'll see. I think
What was
we
your
can
role
say,
there, Frank? Were you creative director?
Yeah, I was a creative HR semi-managerial dichotomy consultant.
Oh, that's good.
That's what it's like now. If you ask someone in the audience what their job is, that's what the answer you get.
Chief Content Officer.
When I first started, it used to be, I'm a baker. Oh, and you'd stuff about bread.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm an HR semi-representative mechanical area managerial consultant person. Are you? Who else is in tonight? That's how it goes. So it goes with me. Oh, our texting today, Elton John's worst lyrical moments.
What are they? Have you got any example?
Well, mine, as always. I know, before you texted, I know Bernie Taupin writes
Yes.
a lot of his stuff, but, I mean, there was song by Elton, so we're calling him Elton's worst lyrical. For me,
Okay,
it was...
go on.
Marilyn was found in the nude.
Oh, you don't like
Come
that?
on.
Well, I'm not a big fan, Frank, of
Marilyn was found in the nude.
Rolling Like Thunder under the covers, which is from, I guess that's why they call it the blues.
Rolling like thunder under the covers.
What was going on under the covers?
I'm not allowed to do that in
Yeah.
our relationship.
Exactly.
We have to go to the
We've
bathroom.
all had that telling off.
Exactly. I can't believe that happens with Furnish and John.
No, they're immaculate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Spotless.
Yes, so that's mine. Marilyn was found in the nude,
I'm going to have to think about it for a while. I don't know what mine
I've
is.
got loads.
which was a little bit rude. That's what I should. If I'd have been Bernie, I'd have said, I'd just carried on that one. You could see that was lewd. Anyway, what's his... any others you've got, we'd love to hear from.
Okay. And the good thing is, I'm sure he won't be at all offended, because he's not a high-maintenance character.
No, he does. I think I offended him anyway. Last time I met him, he actually physically turned his back on me.
Oh, well, in
He
for
didn't.
a penny.
He did.
For a pound.
Why?
He was-
What
Properly,
happened?
physically turned his back on me. So I went over and said hello, and he literally turned round like that.
Oh,
Give you the back.
Yeah. So I just, those flabby bits underneath the armpits, I just pinched those really hard. You should have heard him squeal. It's the best note I've ever heard him strike. And then he just laughed about it. We just laughed together. No tongues. Anyway,
Any rolling like thunder?
Good. Not from me. I didn't feel that relaxed.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Here's the thing. I've been back in the office this week. I work in the office sometimes.
Yeah.
Like a proper office person. Mm-hmm. There was one of those things, cake came round at one point.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I
saw you with your office pals this week.
Yeah,
you?
indeed, yeah.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I was a little bit gel.
Was
I was
it?
a bit jelly bags.
How
Yeah.
was Frank on their names? Because he's not been tip-top with the reception names, has he?
No, I'm
Well, they're all very young.
yeah, they are.
I saw him sitting there in an anorak. I thought he wouldn't wear that with us. He's dressing for the youth.
No, I
Is it?
had a cagoule on, and I was sitting
Trainers?
with a lot of people in there. I look like a latter-day Fagin.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I look like I was going to send them out pickpocketing. But they're a lovely bunch.
They seemed charming.
Yeah, I think they actually are. But I don't know them well. There's always a gap, obviously.
Mm.
That was the slogan I came up with.
There's
There's
always
always a gap.
Sorry
I
to
didn't-
interrupt, but
didn't like it.
275 would like to put forward from Elton's worst lyrics.
Oh yeah.
Surely, if I was a sculptor, but then again, no.
Yeah.
Completely redundant from Harry.
Yeah, the next line should have been the backing vocalist saying, "Why bring it up?" Yeah, the thing he talks about being a bloke in a travelling show.
Not just a bloke, a man who makes potions.
Yeah, and
in a
he actually
travelling
runs
show.
with that. I could be one of those blokes who makes potions in a travelling show. I mean, what's the chances of getting a job like that? 1970s England, impossible. Yeah. But sculptor, the people are actually that. He dismissed this immediately.
Almost straight away.
His league table of possible professions is all over the place.
Yeah, he seems to think he has a strong chance with the man who makes potions in the travelling show.
Makes potion.
Makes me doubt his commitment to being a singer. Like, he's running through all these other job
Well, it was
options.
early in his career. I mean, that was his
it?
first hit, so he probably wasn't sure how it
So
would
I
turn
think
out.
he needs to open his options a bit more. I mean, sculptor or man who makes potions in a travelling show. What about HR?
Yeah.
There are other options
I
available.
don't know if HR
Footballer.
existed in the 70s. Also, I'd have thought...
Personnel, it was called then.
If you wear enormous spectacles, I'd have thought sculptor's going to be quite high up on the list, because you're not worried about shards like a lot of us are.
Well, he rejected optometrist. That would have been a lovely job for him.
Did he run... Was there any other options that he ran through in that song?
Oh,
your song? If I was a doctor. Doctor?
No, he didn't do doctor.
Yeah, if I were a doctor. But then again, no. Oh, no.
Sculptor.
That's another one he dismissed. Doesn't he talk about being a doctor at any point?
He doesn't say if I were a doctor.
I suppose the man who sells potions in a travelling show is a doctor.
In many ways.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's sort of bloke's going to get involved in some sort of scandal.
Is he suggesting snake oil as the potion?
I think it's that kind of thing.
All right, yeah.
Maybe it's one of those, those hair restorers.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that
They're
Tremendous
good.
foresight he showed. That was when Elton had his milk hair.
His milk
What's
hair.
his milk hair?
You have milk-
yeah, like milk teeth.
Like milk teeth, yeah. So you have your milk hair. He had his milk hair, and that fell out, and then he grew his grown-up hair.
Oh, yeah.
We've got another
thought,
one
what was that?
from David in St Albans.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like they could eat me alive in a couple of weeks. That's from Just Like Noah's Ark.
Oh, I don't know that one.
No, me neither.
That'd be Noah's POV.
Yeah.
Because you get the animal, you think you're doing a good turn, you get the animals, then you're out at sea and you're thinking, if they turned...
Yeah.
I suppose every captain thinks it about... he's actually looks at animal-based mutiny he's toying with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. I'm enjoying that. So
Okay.
anyway...
I'll keep you posted if there are any further updates.
Thank you. Speaking of food, somebody brought a punnet of strawberries in.
What, is this into your office job?
Yeah. I have a runner who sort of takes care of me, makes tea and will go and get me deodorant. Sometimes she got me deodorant once without me even asking.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder what would...
Looking back on that. I thought it was an act of kindness, looking back.
It was.
Yeah. But anyway, I had... I have a massive problem with strawberries, and I love strawberries.
Right.
I was going to say that thing that people say, nobody loves strawberries more than I do. But, I mean, I haven't done that kind of canvassing. But I do really like them. But I have one major problem with them, which I will explain after this.
Hang on, strawberry cliffhanger. Unbelievable.
Strawberry cliffhanger, what a club that was.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Surely not. There must be some mistake.
So,
Can I just say it's an absolute pleasure to be at the vanguard of what the problem with strawberry is. Radio links.
Thanks very much.
Cliffhangers.
Well,
Also, Cornelius in Dundee.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Nikita, is it cold? Of course it is. That's why I'm wearing the fur hat. Rather good, Cornelius.
Yeah, very fine. I'd forgotten
Give my
about
love to
that
the
one.
apes.
Pardon?
Planet of the Apes, Cornelius.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look.
I was thinking of Cornelius Lycett, 5 Lives, a racehorse correspondent.
Oh, okay.
Horse racing, I suppose, not race. Well, I suppose he knows individual racehorses.
He knows how the going is.
He got a bit off with me once. I was sitting in for Danny Baker, and I said, it's Cornelius with the GGs. He said, I'd rather you didn't say that.
He didn't.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
What I was referring to is enormous breasts.
Sorry, so we were
That's
talking
the
about
joy of radio, you see. You can work through a thing like that. No one knows.
Yeah.
Sorry?
strawberries.
Oh, yes. So why are they sold invariably with the hat on, the sort of green stalky hat thing?
A stalk?
Why?
Well, I think it keeps them fresher.
I think all fruit that you buy like that lasts, 2 hours before they get that liquid in the bottom of the carton.
So
But
are
I
you
find
suggesting...
I was going to have these strawberries, and I saw the stalks, and I thought, forget it.
Really?
I honestly did.
Maybe you should adopt the system that my daughter adopts and just eat them.
Eat the stalk.
Eat the green bit. Turns out,
That's very your daughter, and I love her for
if
that.
you're 5 and you don't know any better, you just shovel it in and don't care.
But you know what?
I love her.
Maybe I'd never thought of that. And
Yeah.
maybe that's.
It'll all come out in the wash, as it were.
She's doing well. She's fine. My phone's on airplane mode, but I think she's fine.
It's just foliage.
I actively...
I'm going to try that. I'm going to try it.
just...
Or change your thinking.
Oh.
Because I actively worship the stalk because it gives me purchase.
Oh, no, I
It
can't.
helps me eat the... hang on a minute.
You
You've
eat
had
it
your
off-
minute, let
you
me
eat
have
it off the
mine.
Like a
stalk.
stick on a lollipop.
100.
Yeah.
I find, use it, see the stalk as your guide. Stop seeing it as your enemy.
Wow. Emily's zen.
Yeah.
Gone really zen. Love it.
Well, I've tried that, and I find I leave too much strawberry on the stalk. I can't cope with waste.
Just
I'll agree
that.
with you. There is a lot of waste.
yeah.
do that thing, like, sort of, just inhale the last bit off the stalk.
I don't want to inhale fruit. I've told you
do
that
it.
before.
Also,
When I was offering you vaping.
Exactly. Yeah, when
There
you
was-
offered me that kiwi steam you had in a sealed container.
I don't
It'll
like a
catch on, I
disappointing
promise.
strawberry, though. You know,
Yeah.
one that's gone a bit.
No, but this when I take the stalks off, my feeling is to take them all off in one go, and then it's out the way. But it actually hurts my cuticles. It hurts my
dear.
fingernails to do that. So what I started doing is just slicing them.
That's my cuticle, like little Lord Fauntleroy. That's my cuticles.
Yes. And also they went on my blue velvet jumpsuit.
Are you okay? No, Mother, my cuticles hurt me.
So I started slicing them off. You know what I mean? Just slice the top off.
What,
With a
with
knife.
what?
With a knife
Yeah.
beforehand. But then that's even more
Oh, I thought you
wasted.
meant with your nails, like Bear Grylls.
No,
I think you
no.
can slice them off in a sort of a slight V Like if you just...
Oh, I can't
go
be
in on a
bothered to
V.
change direction.
Well, I slice them if I'm having them at home.
Do you?
Well, I started doing the frozen fruit, like your Kath.
Oh, yeah.
Now, where do you stand on a raspberry?
I don't think a raspberry freezes very well, does it? Doesn't it go as
Au
quickly?
contraire, my friend, one of the finest.
Oh, right.
But you see, I have a similar phobia about the sagging raspberry.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You know, you get
I mean, it used to be a great pulp. But now it's gone. It's rough.
I like
the back room's very rough.
I like my raspberries talked. I don't like that hollowed out bit to be too cavernous.
No, I know what you mean. Well, I tied with the idea, would it be morally okay to ask the runner to take the stalks off for me? But it did.
Oh,
it felt a bit Howard Hughes, so I didn't actually do it. So what has happened now is I didn't eat them, they've been wasted.
I tell you what, Jamie Packer's divorced people for less, I'm sure. Or called off engagements.
Yeah, probably. Well, Jamie Packer, we should say, is the partner of...
Mariah Carey.
Mariah.
Mariah Carey, and not anymore.
They call the wind Mariah. That's from the same thing as Rolling Thunder on the covers. Any other wind-breaking theme? No, don't. No.
I've just seen something that's going to change your life with regards to strawberries. Back in a bit.
Frank Skinner on the radio.
Frank,
So I was just showing some photos to the team.
are you ready for the life-changing piece of information?
I bet that for a lyric. Are you ready? Are you ready for love? Yes, I am.
Bit of dialogue.
Yeah, exactly.
Dialogue in
Get
his
someone
songwriting.
else to do that bit. Don't Otherwise, it sounds like you are going under the covers
You
again.
saved a few quid on backing singers there, if you ask me. Always got one eye on the bottom line, hasn't he?
You don't want to be talking to yourself. Are you ready for love? Yes, I am.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, it's a whole new world out there. Real some get out. Okay,
You ready?
here we go. Strawberry news.
Well, we've had Nick Smith get in touch. He's not the only one.
Okay.
There are all sorts. 861, Paul Vine. I could go on.
Paul Vine is obviously on the side of the stalk.
Yeah, he knows.
Nick Smith says you need the strawberry/straw life hack. It's a game changer. There have been pictures enclosed. What you do, you push a drinking straw up through the bottom of the strawberry, as 861 says, and it pushes the straw out. I'm going to show you the stalk, sorry.
Yeah.
You push the stalk out with the drinking straw. I'm going to show you. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Wow.
Phenomenal. No.
It sounds like it just won't work.
It sounds
It
like
does
there might
work.
be waste, though. It sounds like there might be strawberry going in the bin along with stalk. That's
Well,
my
maybe you can, at
concern.
the end of it,
827.
you get like a long strawberry log.
All
Push
right,
a
yeah,
drinking
yeah.
straw up through the bottom of the strawberry and out of the top. It cleans out all the inner gubbins and removes the green velvet hat too.
Oh,
That's
that's
what they-
Okay.
That is
Okay.
good.
The green velvet hat!
I'm going to try it. The Green Velvet Hat. That was a song by the Dubliners, I remember.
I mean, Emily
Tied
says...
up with a green velvet hat.
Emily
Remember that?
says life changer, and we have had about 10, maybe 20
Yeah.
texts suggesting that
Thank
straw
you so much.
thing. Maybe that's why it's called the strawberry.
Of course.
Yeah.
Just in the interest of balance, we've also had a text from 771 saying, guys, this strawberry talk is drivel. Are you all hungover? I mean, I am, but come on. So,
Oh, well,
it's not for everyone.
You can't please everyone.
What someone said about the strawberry. Oh, they didn't like it.
Maybe they meant dribble.
Oh.
This strawberry talk is dribble, like when
Yeah.
Frank was talking about the little liquid that gets in the bottom of a punnet.
We're all teetotal, actually. How dare you?
Yeah.
Are we all
Good
teetotal?
points. Good points.
Well,
Zing.
I'd like to know what fruit annoy you.
Fruit.
Yeah.
It's got to be just fruit, has it?
Well, it can, be,
Can I have vegetables?
it can be food, I suppose. But I suppose, yeah, fruit and vegetables. I'll give you a part example.
Please do.
The pomegranate.
Oh.
Oh,
Now, I
don't get me
love-
started.
I love the what I'm calling the jewels of the pomegranate.
The glistening jewels.
Oh yeah, but to get to them
Yeah, it's
through
a
what,
job.
especially as my mum told me the yellow stuff was poison.
Oh, really?
So that already
Yeah.
I got a problem. It's right. I remember Coventry Patmore wrote about the poetry of Algernon Swinburne and said it was like jewels set in impenetrable quartz. And that's what it's like. There's all this lovely stuff, and the pomegranate doesn't want you to have it.
No.
And also, that thing on the pomegranate, I don't know what you'd even call it. It looks like it used to be a tube, but it's been cut off with those scissors. They call them pinking shears.
Oh, yes.
That leave things. I tell you, the thing that they use those same scissors on is, when you get a bit of silk to clean your spectacles, for some reason they've got that spiky finish as well.
Can I just say, if 771 thought the strawberry talk was drivel, what's he going to make of pomegranate game?
I don't know, there was poetry.
And wait till I start on peppers, because I've got a lot to say about those troublesome seeds.
My guess is...
No, I don't want a load of confetti when I open a vegetable.
No, that's a
Why
weird
do I
thing.
want that white stuff? It's like the end of the X Factor when all those bits come down from the ceiling. I don't want that in a pepper.
I love that on a show, though. I remember when Margaret got the first ever million on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Do you remember that? And all the ticker tape came down.
Yeah.
Never seen such an old, dusty ticker tape. Been up there for about 8 series. Thick with dust. Nobody could breathe in there. It's terrible.
Frank Skinner on the radio.
Well, there has been, the switchboard has lit up again with pomegranate life hacks, I would say.
This fruit texting is a real,
It's really bearing fruit.
For us.
It's really bearing fruit,
lovely.
isn't it?
Pomegranate life hacks could be a pretty American actress.
That's right.
In the Daily Mail.
She sounds lovely, actually.
Mail online. Never heard of her, but here she is in a bikini.
Currently dating Calvin Harris.
Dating.
Game-changing pomegranate solution. Cut PG in half. PG from now on will represent pomegranate.
Okay.
Cut PG in half. Hold PG between fingers and thumb with jewel side face down. Place bowl below. Bash bottom of PG with wooden spoon repeatedly. Hey presto, jewels in bowl, yellow bits remain in bottom, question mark.
Jewels in bowl, I love that. It's like brass in pocket.
I'm definitely going to try that.
Well,
jewels in bowl.
There's also an easier way, apparently, which is to put it in cold water, and it just comes out.
Oh, no, I don't want that.
I really feel
I hate cold fruit.
Oh. I really feel 010 described that beautifully. Attention must be paid.
Yeah.
Respect.
No, that's very, very fine.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Any EJ coming in?
EJ? Oh, yes.
Okay.
Let me just find
We're
it.
doing, in case you've just tuned in, Elton John's worst lyrical moments this morning.
Yeah,
and I know a lot of them are written by Bernie Taupin. But,
What about, hey armadillo, what you doing in the garden? Slumbering and spherical, you're always hanging around.
What's that from?
I don't know. Hashtag trespassing. Hashtag waiting for a free bacon sandwich, maybe. That's a reference to you hanging about somebody's garden.
Oh, right. They're not spherical, are they, armadillos?
Well, they're quite round.
No.
They're more rugby ball shaped, aren't they?
I did. They're sort of tapered at both ends. Or is that dog mess? Something I've seen in my garden. Anyway.
Okay.
All good stuff.
Frank, in other news, a lovely photograph has been sent through of you on our Twitter feed.
Oh, really?
Of you with a green face.
Oh, yes.
No, not trying to eat a strawberry stalk, but at the Halloween party.
Yes, it was, of course, it was Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
And I decided, I went Route 1.
Yeah.
I went Frankenstein Monster. Let's call him FM.
Oh, right.
In the current trend of abbreviations.
Yeah.
So I went as FM. And I tell you, what the good thing was...
It was great.
Yeah.
It was a good costume, because the makeup, Kath did the makeup, I believe, didn't she?
She did it with some aggression.
Did she?
Yeah. She took a sponge and green paint, and I thought there was not hate, but grudge. There was grudge in it.
Oh.
Just edge of violence. Is that what it was?
Just a bit like that. And I thought,
Right.
you don't want to be saying, you're hurting me when someone's doing your makeup.
He had he had bolts on his neck, which Aisling B tried to unscrew, I noticed.
Yes, that could have been. What if only my head could have fallen off at that moment? She would have felt pretty stupid.
Yeah, that would have taught her a lesson.
Well,
He had a great costume.
The bolts were made by... there's a very lovely woman called Emily who works on... Emily with a double M.
Oh.
I call her Emily.
Okay.
And she did me the bolts, which were very good. They were on a little...
Why would you be a double M? Hungover father, maybe?
Well, we're all different.
Yeah.
Maybe she loves M&Ms.
Yeah?
But she's very sweet woman, not the sort
Is she
for
a
a
props
cutting
woman?
remark. Yeah, she makes stuff and that. She doesn't just move it about. And I said, could you help me out with an FM kit? Frankenstein monster. And so she did me the... And I said, I said, you see him wearing those, like, false heads with, like, the big forehead on it. And she looked at me and she said, I think he'll be all right. It was quite a moment.
Oh, Frank. I mean, she shouldn't have actually come out with it.
No. But it was a very interesting experience becoming the Frankenstein monster, which I'll discuss with you after this.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Anyway, this is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cockerel. You can text the show on 81215 if you like. We'd like it, certainly. You can follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio, or you can email the show via the Absolute Radio website. This morning we're talking about fruit that we find frustrating, fruit and vegetables, and we're also talking about Elton John's worst lyrical moments. And I've just started the tale of me being the Frankenstein monster for the Halloween party.
Well,
Yeah.
523 was confused. 523 says, Frank was Frankenstein. When I saw those pictures, I assumed he'd gone dressed as his Gotham character, Cooking Apple Face.
Yes,
That's from Monster Mash.
Thank you, Monster. I was talking about last week. Someone said if you're a character in... I opted for Batmite, but then we got on to...
We said if you were a character in Gotham.
Yes. But then on the subject of Cooking Apples, I thought Cooking Apple Face could be a great villain. And that's how he would look. I wish now I'd gone for it.
Meanwhile, over at the Halloween party...
Yeah, so I got... when I was prepping, when I was getting ready to be...
Getting into character.
And you wore a grey suit and a black T-shirt.
Yeah, which is, I think, Karloff...
It's
look.
classic Frankenstein.
Well, it wasn't really, because if you consider that when Frankenstein was written, he would have probably been in some sort of frock coat. But,
Yes, but one always associates him with the slightly 50s grey suit and the black T-shirt.
Yeah. Karloff, I think, is what comes to your mind. Anyway, so I went upstairs. I had a shave initially, because you can say what you like about the Frankenstein monster. He's always clean shaven.
Yeah.
Oh, clean shave.
He doesn't dash out the house.
No.
No, he makes an effort.
Did you have a red lipstick on as well?
I did do that. I don't know quite where that comes from, the red lipstick. But, yes, I went for the red lips. Do you think that the stitches on the Frankenstein monster's neck could be from shaving?
Oh. Because he is keen on a shave.
But then there's a possibility that the lightning used to ignite his life force had a sort of electrolysis.
Well, he had...
Yes.
I actually think, can I be honest, they looked like a suspicion of a hair transplant activity.
Oh, yeah.
Because he had an extraordinarily high forehead. And when the hair grows back a bit too thick at the front...
But he's got one of those fringes that's got a slightly clawed, if you know what I mean. It's sort of coming in on...
Surely the shock. Surely that's the...
Well, I don't know, because the Incredible Hulk has got basically exactly the same hairstyle.
Well, and
Maybe
the
it's
actual hair...
Maybe it just goes with green, that hairstyle.
Well, the follicle... Sorry to get too technical, but I
Yeah.
love hair. It's my life. The consistency of the follicles is almost mole-like. It's like a pelt.
Yes, it's the... I had to go heavy with the gel. But I did notice, at this stage, all I've done is had a shave, bear in mind. I gelled the fringe, and I was basically there. I hadn't got any bolts, green paint, nothing, but I looked and I thought, yes, I can already see the Frankenstein
This is going to work.
It's a tiny bit of gel.
Yeah.
That's... I didn't dye my hair in the end, so I thought it was...
Well, you didn't dye it black.
No, that's
a
what
bit Paul McCartney. I don't want you doing that.
Paul McCartney's gone for a sort of purpley look.
Oh, it's more aubergine.
But I didn't go for the black. I thought I sort of looked like the Frankenstein monster if he'd lived. I got the grey hair.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Surely not. There must be some mistake.
Yes, so I went as the Frankenstein. Here's this another text in this morning. What, if anything, did the Frankenstein monster have in his suit pockets? Because
did he?
When I started putting stuff in my pockets, like my wallet and stuff, I thought, is people going to say to me, I don't think he had a wallet, did he?
He wouldn't have needed cash where he was going.
But
he used intimidation rather than money.
Yeah, he must have had stuff in his pockets.
Then again, you can't apply that. You could apply that logic to all fancy dress. Like, you know, if someone goes dressed up as Mary Poppins, you can't...
Well, this is the problem.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got a purse or...
Well, I went as my theme. I'm getting a bit of a theme now, as something of a regular at these parties.
Aren't you?
I go as good girl gone bad. That's my theme. So I did Zombie Dorothy from Wizard of Oz
that was last year, was it?
Year before last.
Okay.
Nice try. Last year was Zombie Princess Leia.
Oh, yes,
nice.
Of course.
This year was...
I remember your bonds.
Belle from Beauty and... Thank you. Belle from Beauty and the Beast. And the Beast had attacked me. He'd gone postal.
Beauty and the Beast.
So I had claw marks.
The story old as time. Yes.
And I thought it was a nice excuse to try out yellow. Because I'd always wondered what yellow would look like, and I quite liked it on me.
Sounds good.
Well, you looked beautiful. I think I think there's a tendency for the women to look beautiful / sexy.
Yes. I don't go sexy, but I go
And the
classique.
men. You were quite sexy as the Black Swan, I thought.
Oh, lovely.
Good pelt.
Late review.
Yeah. Whereas there's not much sexy about the There'll be someone somewhere who fancies the Frankenstein monster as ever. Bride of Frankenstein, par example.
True.
I think even she was more of an arranged marriage.
You think so?
Well, yeah, they were sort of rearranged, I suppose. They'd been other people.
I do take it very seriously, though, because Jonathan
Marriage?
takes it seriously.
Yes, the party.
The party.
Yeah, exactly.
And he puts a lot of effort into it. He went as Flying Monkey. Great costume.
Yeah, that was tremendous costume. You know, from Wizard of Oz.
Oh, right.
It's not an Elton John lyric.
No.
But I take it so seriously.
Flying monkey
I spoke to Charlie.
Flying monkey in my heart. Yes.
I spoke to Charlie, the producer, playing this week, and she said, "Oh, where are you?" I said, "I can't really talk. I'm just on my way to my fabric consultant." I mean,
yes,
come on. I have an actual fabric consultant.
That is serious stuff.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
It's all good fun now, celebrating death and things.
Yeah.
I made you a cup of tea, Frank, didn't I?
Yeah, that was
At the
nice.
party?
Tell Alan what happened, Frank.
You
Yeah, well,
always find you in the kitchen at parties, is it
Well,
that?
I knew you wanted a tea. I know. Read you like a book.
It was late in the night, and I mean, much later than I normally stay up. I'm thinking about bed nowadays at about 9.
Late at night. We were working in the lab late one night.
Yes, and I'd had a few late nights, some PJ Harvey, and then I had anyway, etc., etc. But then. When it got, you can tell when I left, there's the paparazzi were outside.
Oh, no.
And they
got photographed.
I heard them say, "Oh, Liston's had a drink," when I came out. And
They didn't.
Yeah. I thought, well, yes, but it was September the 24th, 1986. Can you still smell it on me?
Still staggering about.
And
They say this on
yeah,
the
they
thing.
honestly said that. And I said, I have. And they said, yes, that's what they ought. They took photos.
Frankie, legend.
And when they took photos, I thought it was I slightly staggered because of the... well, to be honest, it was midnight. I'm not used to being vertical for that long.
Yeah.
And I slightly they all went, "Wait, he's going over." And I thought, can you believe it? And I just had a cup of tea with Emily at a big showbiz
I decided to make him a cup of tea. I knew it's what he wanted.
Yeah.
Oh, it was absolutely lovely. You know, when you really want a cup of tea, and then you have a cup of tea.
Brilliant.
What's the song? What is that song lyric? When you want... I was looking for a job and then I found a job. Yeah, it was like that. I was looking for a cup of tea and then I found a cup of tea and I wasn't miserable
Yeah.
No, I get it. I'm with
I
you.
finished the trope, I can
I'm
relax.
with you.
Well, thanks for being with me.
Yeah.
I've been lost without you.
Frank Skinner on the radio.
So, what else?
Well, 877 has suggested, I'm sure Frankenstein's monster was always told to keep salt in one of his pockets and brass in the other.
Yeah.
So he's...
Yes, new readers might want to know that my dad told me to always carry salt in my pocket, so if I was accosted, and he told me how to do it. You don't just go at it. You go, oh look, I don't want any, and then you do it. So they think you're backing off, and they're wide-eyed with excitement, and then those eyes become the receptacle
Very good
for
idea.
sodium chloride.
I've taken that advice on board.
Anyone listening at home, I'm not for a second suggesting you throw salt in people's eyes. This is just, my dad came from a different age. He also told me the best way to kill a dog was pull its front legs apart till its heart bursts. I would never do that.
He also said to the person who came round with the Paul's coupons, if I find out... What did he say, Frank?
It was in the paper that a man who collected the Paul's coupons had run off with the money. And he said to him, "Did you see that story about the Paul's?" He said, "Yes, I did, Mr. Carr, yes, I did." He said, you know, if you ever did that, I'd track you down and kill you. There's a
Now then,
tone changed in the room.
you used the word readers, and we've had a complaint
Oh,
from
okay.
John Reed,
Ironically.
nominative determinism.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Because he says, "Hi all, I really dislike your use of the word readers for your listeners. We do not read the show. As Frank can be quite pedantic in the use of language, I'm surprised he uses it. Otherwise, I really enjoy the show. Regards, John."
It's a shame that that's holding it back.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry about it. I think how it comes from, John. It comes from when we back refer to things. So it's born of humility. Because if you think about it, sometimes if we back refer, I think, well, people often, people don't listen every week. I don't have that kind of ego. And so it's based on, used to, when you read serialised stories, it used to say new readers start here. So that's how it came about. So it's from a good place. I'm sorry it annoys you. Now get out. Stick with it. Stick with it.
We've
That's what I'm
had
saying.
956 has got in touch as well.
Oh, God, it's been a while.
And 956, the subject line is oppressed.
Okay.
Morning, my three friends. Some weeks ago, Frank recalled an instance of Frank's partner complaining vociferously about Frank clapping too hard at a circus, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, she said, can you use your fingers more when you clap? So
okay,
it's more like
anyway,
this
Frank.
and less like So she said it was hurting her ears.
Okay, I love that. Frank,
Yes.
Frank ended the anecdote with a solitary word, a rather mournful, oppressed.
Yes, correct.
I like to think I captured that well.
That was good.
Yeah.
My wife, who was not a regular reader, was in the room at the time, and ever since, when I complain unnecessarily about a trivial chore in her presence, washing up, ironing, having to get off the sofa, she gives me a withering look, sighs, and mutters, oppressed. It does sum up the situation rather nicely, and it ends the argument there and then. You provided a valuable service, praise withheld.
That's good, because that'll help the balance in the relationship, don't you think?
It's the gift that keeps on giving. That.
We all need a little reminder now and again.
Yeah.
That's what I certainly do at my age. Couldn't remember. Oh God, who was it now?
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Oh, we've got some exciting news in this week. We haven't talked about this yet, and I've been wanting to, but it's been so busy, what with all the fruit discussion and Elton John lyrics.
Yeah.
Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in fact, while we're on that subject, Sarah has said Mars ain't the kind of place to raise your kids. In fact, it's cold as hell and there's no one there to raise them if you did. She comments, odd parental plans.
Yeah. Does he say there's no one there to raise them if you did? Does he say that?
Sounds like
so.
that's what
Mars ain't
she's
the kind of
suggesting.
place where your kids, in fact, it's cold as hell. No raise if you did. Is that what he says there?
That's
I
what
didn't
she's
know that.
claiming.
Well, maybe that's her little...
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that's the quote.
Maybe it's when he says Mars, maybe he means his mother's house,
Oh, yeah.
as in Mars house. Because remember, he had a bit of a
Maybe
different-
he's talking about Bruno Mars.
He had a set too with his mum, who then hired an Elton John lookalike. didn't
That's
she,
right,
for a
yeah.
birthday party.
I think people should do that. If they get divorced from celebrities, they should then hire a lookalike. Just as a ramp, just to get over it,
Yeah.
just to bring them down.
Win
gently.
themselves off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? Anyway,
That would be a good a little thing to have on the back page of The Stage.
Yeah.
It's to
Stage and
say,
television times today.
Available for post-divorce letdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you've been
Will wear
living,
beard.
if you've been living with, say if you date, say
Will
if-
wear beard and hat.
if God forbid Furnish and John was to split, then DF could have the Elton John lookalike. He could pick any era he liked, just to be around, go to things with,
Yeah.
and then just get used to
The
it.
company at first.
So I wanted to talk to you about Glamour magazine. This is the US version.
Yeah.
They released that they have Women of the Year.
Oh yes,
So they've released the list of Women of the Year, and it's quite
Yeah.
an exciting list. They've got Gwen Stefani. You're familiar with her work.
what? How does she? I mean, God bless her, but what does she? How does she? How does she qualify as woman of
Oh,
the
God
year?
forbid
She's a
Frank
woman.
Ever says that to me. If Frank Ever says God bless her, I know something withering.
No, I mean,
is
I
about to come.
like her work and stuff, and she looks lovely.
She does.
Harajuku girl.
That'll do me. They're two criteria.
If I was
Like
a
her work,
man,
she looks lovely.
If I
That'll
was a
do.
man,
She's-
she'd be my type.
No, what I'm thinking is she must have something
Or a
else
woman.
going on to have won
Say.
Woman of the Year. She must have a big.
Like
does
a
she have a
campaign or
foundation?
Oh,
Quite
they've
a
always
lot.
got a
Quite a lot in my experience.
No, she is quite fond of the makeup.
Yeah.
Yes, she's.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what she's.
She favours the Frank on Halloween Frankenstein monster.
No,
approach.
she looks beautiful,
So do
but
I.
she looks like a beautiful woman who doesn't need to have to do.
But is she
Oh,
kind of
she's a
girl
star.
power? She's like a sort of a
Yes.
modern version of girl power,
Is
isn't
she?
She's-
Oh, she looks good for her age.
But how does she
My
qualify?
goodness.
Has she got a foundation? Has she done something
One
behind the
would
scenes?
imagine there's charitable works going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
respect.
Zendaya?
We'll have to Google
Pardon?
it.
Zendaya?
Yes, she's
Don't-
good.
Don't know her.
I don't
She's
know
an
that
actress, and are you familiar with her, Charlie? The youth will be. Oh dear, that's disappointing.
No.
Just me then.
Who else is on there, Emma?
She is a sort
Oh.
of actress and social media star.
Oh, right.
Social media star.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
She's certainly shot up in my estimation now.
Me too.
And probably got a foundation. And then finally, Bono is on it.
Yeah,
Bono.
Yes.
Woman of the
Bono.
Year.
He's one of the women of the year. This is no joke. Bono,
He's a bloke, though, isn't
I know, but he loves a Cuban heel.
he? He's a bloke, isn't he?
And a rose-tinted spectacle. He's a fan
You know
of.
what? It's gone a bit wrong. I mean, last year, I think it was last year, they had Caitlyn Jenner, did they? on
Yes.
it? Now that felt like a very positive statement about, about your transsexuals.
Although some people weren't so positive about that.
No,
Yeah,
no.
but some people. It made sense that
Very
because
persuasive argument.
if you're going to go outside your core group, which is one might say was women. So that's in like born women.
Yeah.
Then it feels to me like if the buzz is going to extend its route, then the first stop would be the transsexual. That makes sense.
Yeah.
They have walked the walk literally.
Well, not for very long.
No, but
For about 3 months.
but in those heels, you have to walk the walk.
Yeah.
But how far down the road of conversation do you get before you reach Bono
Yeah.
as Woman of the Year?
Even Bono said he didn't deserve it.
He's pushed his
Well-
neck out there a bit.
I think he was being a bit faux bashful. I'm sure I don't deserve it, but hey, I'll have it.
But they said we've talked about picking a man before, but it's always been vetoed. I thought, how hard is it to find some Women of the Year?
Yeah, well, I think some...
Yeah, but imagine, guys, when you got the call, Al. I mean, you got an award. He thought he'd get Lifetime Achievement at the
Yeah.
Grammys.
Yeah.
He thought he'd get Nobel Peace Prize. Women of the Year. Come on.
I'm worried about my calendar for next year. I subscribe every year. I get the Glamour Woman of the Year calendar.
Oh dear.
It's going to be a difficult March for me next year, isn't it? Looking at Bono every day.
What's the FHM Sexiest Women going to be like this year?
Yeah. Peter Crouch.
I have to
It's going to be the edge.
I have to say, it wouldn't break my heart to see Bieber in there. I always look.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
All sorts going on in the studio.
There
Oh,
has
we've done a
strawberry
video-
eating.
Tell them about the strawberries.
Yes, tell them about the strawberries, Mummy. I got the drinking straw. I inserted, and I inserted so deep, the act came off.
Really?
Yeah, and it worked. The stalk came off the strawberry, and I had a lovely hollow.
Did it work for you, Al?
No,
Me neither.
it did not.
Oh, really?
Didn't work for either of us.
I'll tell you what I did. I tried twice to get the strawberry hat off with the straw. Ended up just burrowing a massive, like a cave inside a strawberry, and then just pulled the straw out and ate it normally, but with it all gooey. Because I'd had a go at using a straw to take
Well, I was
the hat off.
filmed doing it, and I think we put that somewhere. It's online.
There was a
Excellent.
tense moment when I thought the video hadn't come out, and I just didn't know what to do.
No, it's all right. Everything's okay.
But delicious. They were delicious.
They were delicious. That's what counts. But anyway, it worked for me.
Okay.
Didn't work for everyone.
We sound like we're making
That's
small
what the
talk at a dinner party.
manager of the comedy store used to say sometimes. Audience liked it. Didn't work for me.
Oh,
It's one of his
He
favourites.
sounds like a supportive
Yeah,
comedy
he was
manager.
great. Yeah.
So,
I remember after I started to do well, I turned up there and he went, "Oh, get the red carpet out."
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Surely not. There must be some mistake.
Yeah, so we were talking about the list of Woman of the Year.
oh, someone's texted us, 482, loving Emily's gift ideas in the John Lewis catalogue. Coaster, anyone? I didn't tell you this, Frank.
No.
Well, I have done my guide to good gift ideas
Oh, yeah.
for comics, and I might have mentioned you in it.
Oh, really?
I mentioned that you like a coaster.
What did you mean? Where
I
is
have to
it?
get the catalogue to go into.
Oh, it's in the John Lewis
Go into the
catalogue.
in-store and you'll find it.
What, you have written in it?
No, I'm being interviewed as a celebrity.
Oh, are you? Oh,
Lovely,
excellent.
congratulations. Mazel tov.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah, that's
Lovely
nice.
celebrity interview.
How do you get it? How do you get the catalogue?
I believe you go into all good John Lewis
Is it what they
stores.
call in-store? In-store. I'm going in-store.
Will you get one now?
Yeah, I might go
See what you
straight from
think.
the show. Why not?
That's interesting. Oh, I love it when you guys branch out. Makes me so proud.
Well, I'm pleased. I've got a feeling that I might win Woman of the Year next year.
I think you're in with a
Really
in that sweater.
Thanks very much.
Oh, I wonder who was on the list before they got to Bono.
Oh,
Who else? What other women?
Eddie
No, but
Izzard.
there must have been
Oh, other men.
They must have gone to the end of the road with women before they started. They must have said, "What about Gemma Lucy from X on the Beach?" Nah. What about a man? What are you, crazy?
What would you do if either of you got the Women of the Year award for the UK Glamour? And one of my very good friends, Joe's the editor, so it could be arranged.
I'd
What
claim
would
that-
you accept the award?
I would accept the award and claim the right to use women's changing rooms in swimming baths,
Yeah.
sports centres, and
don't think they've-
large stores.
I don't think they've even thought of what they could...
No, I think I'd want a special badge so I could wear it in. All right, girls. All right.
I mean, I'll be frank. What has Bono thought of this? He might be really abusing his new position by now.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
might be just barreling right
You
past.
don't know what he's looking at behind those fly eyes.
Frank Skinner on the radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cockerel. You can text the show on 81215. Follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio. Email the show via the Absolute Radio website.
Touch of John Cooper
John
Clarke.
Cooper Clarke.
Oh, is that who it was?
Yeah.
Lovely. I just remembered something from the Halloween party I wanted to share with you.
Oh, yeah.
Which was, I introduced Frank to a friend of mine called James, and I said, Frank, this is my friend James. He produces one of your favourite shows, Mrs. Brown's Boys.
Oh, yeah.
Frank said, how's it going? He said, great, we're just doing Christmas specials. Frank said, respect. Like he was sort of Rosa Parks or something. Like he was flying in the face of convention, like respect. Well, he's getting paid.
No, but I think that Mrs. Brown's Boys does fly in the face
Yeah.
of... it's caught in a very a very lone path, really.
Yes.
With there's a lot of character acting and stuff going on in the sitcoms nowadays. They're dramas.
Says Frank with disapproval.
Well, there's a lot of dramas.
There's no character acting in Mrs. Brown's Boys.
Well, there's character acting, but you know what I mean. But quirky.
Sit
character
yourself down.
acting.
I've got news for you, Frank. You know Bono's Woman of the Year. Well, Mrs. Brown's Boys.
Yeah, so
He loves that. That
what
was
if
the treat.
Brendan O'Carroll had got Woman of the Year?
Oh,
for
now
Mrs.
that
Brown's
would have been a
Boys?
story, wouldn't it?
Why didn't they do that, Frank? Much
Come
better.
on.
Missed opportunity.
Well,
that would have been.
Joe, who
best
edits
thing.
UK Glamour, if you're listening, just a little idea.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Look, we think. I mean, Bono. It's easy to mock Bono. I know, but he does do.
I don't think that should stop us doing it, though.
No, but he does. No, I think that should make it an absolute must.
yeah, but what's next? I mean, where will it end? It's going to be our Keith as Miss Birmingham. You can't keep putting forward men for these female roles.
No,
I agree.
that does seem. I think it's. I think he's done a lot of work for.
Well,
Done a
What's
lot of
he
work
done?
for charity.
He's done a lot of work for I mean, he's.
had a lot of
He's what? And it's always amazed me that
certainly had a lot of work.
But there's a term. Well, not if you got the fly glasses.
No,
Much cheaper than getting the work done.
He revealed on, I think it was Graham Norton, that he had cataracts.
Some kind of issue.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean why you have to wear the fly glasses. That means why you have to wear shades. If I'd have
His
been him,
cataracts and the edges, hair loss problems. Between them.
Look, once I'd bought the fly glasses, I'd have phoned up my PR and said, the next album, I want it me sitting on an enormous dog turd. Sort it, I'd have said, and then I'd have put the phone down. That's how you've got to talk to him.
Yeah. My worry is that the rest of the band aren't going to be... They're not that kind of band that are going to kind of have fun with this, are they? Like...
Who is it? The Edge, Adam Clayton, and the other one?
When
They
he's...
could, look, 5 years' time, there could be a girl band. The way it's going.
Hey, the Edge could get one of those hats with the girl's hair stuck on
yeah.
it. You know, like the fancy dress thing? Like when they have their baseball cap with the Russ Abbott orange wig.
I love your hey, that was very... It was like Craig Thingy from Red Dwarf. hey!
Great job.
It's my
Thanks,
working
Charles,
class
thank you.
roots come out.
Thank you for helping me out with
That
that.
don't exist.
No.
Those working class roots.
Yeah, but he could have
man.
the hat, Frank, with the hair attached to it.
That would be splendid.
Be
Yeah.
great, but I don't think it's going to happen because I think the rest of the band are a bit, they're not that much fun. So, like, now there's an opportunity where Bono, temporarily, as far as we know, is the only woman in the band. So there could be the chance, like, the day after that comes out, where he's like, actually, could I have this tea a little bit browner?
Yeah.
And the rest of the band are like, ooh, hark at her!
There's going to be
Like,
lots of that.
They could be
Lots of
doing
that.
a lot of bants, couldn't they? But I'll bet they're actually going, oh, we're not going
should
to make
think
fun
they're-
of you because we actually really respect your charity work.
That's
and that's
zero.
where you
Well,
go.
I respect his charity work. Come on.
Yeah, but you still make fun of him.
No, you
Well, yeah.
respect anything.
Well, no, I like, he's obviously a man of some determination. I mean, he's still on my iTunes.
Still on the iTunes.
I've tried prizing his fingers off individually, but he won't let go. He's still there. I noticed the other day, he's still there.
And he does do a lot of foundation work. Does he live now? Monaco,
I
is
think-
it? Can't
yeah.
remember. One of those.
Is it Monaco?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did Gwen Stefani's foundation work.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Frank, we've had a message in from 797.
Okay.
Sort of a complaint, really.
Oh.
Or just picking us up on something.
Really
Frank.
stroppy today. What's the
Yeah.
matter with everyone?
Frank Stain, it says Frank Stain as well, was the man who made the monster. That's Richard from Sheffield. But I thought
Guess-
we'd made it clear that...
Guess what?
What?
I knew that.
Frankenstein.
I've been saying the Frankenstein monster. In fact, I reduced it to FM.
Yeah. I think we might have even mentioned Dr. Frankenstein at some point.
Did we say Victor? No. Yes. Well, it is one of those things that people say, but
Did
'cause
you know?
I think I was called
Like Gary Oldman's
Frankenstein
sister.
in the Daily Mail. I think they said Frank Skinner went as Frankenstein.
Oh.
And that isn't correct. So, yes, it is the Frankenstein monster, but I don't think you can... I think I am a man more sinned against than sinning.
Excellent.
Pulpit voice, love it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Have you seen Frankenstein's monster? Well, you can't stop him at parties. One good thing about Bono's things, I think all the people that were angry about Bob Dylan getting the Nobel Prize for Literature are now thinking, actually, that was perfectly reasonable.
Yes.
As it turns out. And now they're angry about, it's outrageous that Bono should be in this position. And then
Bono
if Donald Trump wins, people will say that Bono thing was actually quite common sense.
Bono can comment when he gets Woman of the Year. Surely Bob can comment. Has Bob said anything yet?
Yes.
What did he say?
He said he was speechless.
Oh, lovely.
That was it. But then he did say if he can possibly make the ceremony, he will.
Oh, that's nice.
Which, I'd be crack.
That's like us at the Archivas.
I'd love to see Dylan get up there. Dylan did some acceptance speech once, which was absolute, like a poem. It was talking about folk music and stuff. It was brilliant.
If we're going to be straight, I think he would be a slightly more suitable contender for Woman of the Year. Let's leave it there.
Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would be more easily mistaken as a female.
Yeah, and if he couldn't make it, he could send Leslie Joseph. Yes, well, I wouldn't turn it down. Let's put it that way.
Woman of the Year.
If I was offered it, I'd take any prize I could get.
Yeah.
I don't blame Bono for it.
You took Best Speech Radio, didn't you?
Best Speech Radio. Was that any more ridiculous?
Oh, thanks for correcting me, Dan. Bono said he had glaucoma rather than cataracts. Sorry.
Okay, there you go.
Oh.
It's the accent, isn't it? I have a little bit of the glaucoma. What's happening is I have a little bit of the glaucoma, and that's why I'm wearing the shades. What did you say?
That's all the voices.
I was just saying, I thought I'm wearing the shades. Anyway, let's have a little sing-song. Sorry.
Something of an underreporting of U2's career. Have a little sing-song.
The tragic thing is that I was then going to do a U2 song in that accent, and I just couldn't think of one.
Oh, you know some.
I've never been a
couldn't think
fan.
of one.
I can think of one.
Vertigo.
One.
One.
Yeah.
You couldn't think of...
That's a U2
I don't know. I didn't know they were numbered. I thought they had... Oh, right, I didn't know it was one called One.
This is embarrassing. I don't like this argument.
I'm not calling
You
it
just
an
shouting
argument.
one.
Yeah, exactly.
One.
Yeah, the Spanish bloke's coming from next door.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Emily delivered a news story that seemed very up her strasser, glamour, women, all that kind of thing. I bring us some Coronation Street news.
Oh, well, you are our correspondent.
Correspondent?
Correspondent.
You know what, I've had so many monikers on this show.
That just happened then, though.
That's made my day around 11% better.
Can I just say, when a joke is born. There you go. Lovely.
Kevin
you were all
Kennedy.
there at the birth.
Yeah.
Here's the cigars.
Indeed. Kevin Kennedy, who used to be Curly Watts on the show, went on Lorraine's...
I'm really sorry to interrupt. When you say used to, still is, always will be. Carry on.
Good shout.
Do you understand? It's a bit like Boone.
He's one of those...
Lovejoy.
Can I say at this point...
Yes.
That there are certain celebrities who come, they're sort of conjoined for me, that I can't separate one from the other. Kind of get them mixed up, and
There's only one Curly.
No, I've always got Curly mixed up with Lofty.
Him and Lofty.
Yeah, similar.
Were,
yes.
Yep, they
Tom
were absolutely same casting bracket, weren't they?
Yeah, and even when I saw this in the paper, and I thought, it's that Arsenal bloke, and it isn't that Arsenal bloke.
Tom Watt, I believe he was
Tom
called.
Watt, yeah, of course.
Do you think there's one in Emmerdale who's a sort of curly, lofty cat? There must be.
A Yorkshire one.
Yeah.
That could have been me.
That'd be a lovely part for you, Al.
Tunstall Malua. I can't separate them in my mind.
Good shout, yeah.
Cannot separate them. Mm-hmm. What about Hiddleston, Redmayne, Garfield, Butler? Differences between them couldn't be subtler. Talk about Brit actors. Talk about Brit actors. No, but they, Hiddleston, Redmayne, they're all... They're all the same.
All the same, love.
I'm sure they're not, but I mean, in my mind...
I will say this
they're
about...
all cut from the same cloth, sorry.
About Kevin Kennedy, who you said always will be about Curly Watts. he was asked about it on the show, and he took what I think is a refreshing approach of saying, I would love to go back. I would absolutely love to play Curly Watts again. Whereas I think a lot of them are like, well, I'm doing other projects, I'm spending more time with my family, you know, I've got my songwriting or whatever. And he just, he said, if ever there was a chance to go back, I would love it. He took a Frank Skinner / Doctor Who approach.
Yes. But
on television to beg for the job.
I have always said that when somebody leaves a soap opera and say they're doing other projects, they mean a big jigsaw at home
It's so
every
true.
day.
It's so true.
But
Anyway.
he must. Why was he on for doing something else? He's
I
not.
think he sings, but he was mid-interview.
He's not Dwarf of the Year.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Not
What
his
is he up
towering
to?
stature. I think he might sing. I think he travels and
Oh,
sings.
does he?
But
Yeah.
he was on, and Lorraine pointed out that his jeans had the John Lewis security tag on there,
Yes.
as if he was, you know,
And then he
a
said,
petty thief. He went, I am from Manchester. didn't he?
and she said, oh no, don't say that. She panicked at the
Yeah,
Mancunian.
I think she was already picturing the switchboard lighting up, not realising that Manchester, they're quite
Not
good-humoured
realising
about
that they
sort of
actually
stuff.
need to talk about strawberry stalks.
But, Al,
that
have
kind
you
of-
seen what I'm calling the director's cut? Which is the sort of Blade Runner version,
Oh, okay.
slightly longer, about 2 minutes longer. I've watched the whole thing because it was one of my favourite stories, this. And what's quite mortificado is that immediately prior to Lorraine saying, oh, you've got a tag on it, Gene, he says, well, I always say to my son, look, Daddy's very lucky. Daddy is at the top of the tree in this industry. Daddy's right at the top. And just at that minute, Lorraine says, you've got a tag on your jean. I mean, it couldn't come at a worse time.
Well, he is very lucky if he could get out the shop with it on. How did he get out the shop? I mean, it's a big question mark about... It's like when, you know, somebody appears in the Queen's bedroom. You got to question the whole...
Yeah.
It's like those guys on the Olympic winners' coach. The whole security system is under
Well,
question.
especially as it was from John Lewis, which, as we know, I do a lot of work for now. I don't. I was interviewed by them. for my
There's no way that he got out under the laser beam, a man of his height.
Just wriggled through like Mission Impossible or
I've
something.
got out with a tag on before.
Have you?
Well, not intentionally, I should add. I've paid for the said goods.
Yeah, and did the alarm go off?
Well, it might have.
Sometimes there's just a mistake with the like the dibber, isn't there? Little
I
thing
think
in the
people are
bob.
too frightened to approach me because they think I'll sue them or something.
Of course, I spent the whole story thinking, well, he's 55, he shouldn't have jeans on.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Surely not. There must be some mistake.
030, morning every soap has an oddball.
Every soap has an... Oh, yeah.
Benny and Crossroads, Sam Dingle in Emmerdale.
Benny in Crossroads.
Those were the
He had an
days.
edge-type hat, didn't he?
Yes.
He did, yeah. I've told you before, I think, about when I met him in a pub.
Real name?
I went... Paul Henry.
Very good.
I went into a pub in Birmingham, and he was working behind the bar.
I love the glamour of this anecdote.
He may have owned... I mean, he may have owned the pub, to be fair to him, but he worked behind the bar anyway. And there's an old movie called Mephisto.
Oh, yeah.
And it's about this guy who plays the devil in a play, and there's an amazing scene in it where it's set in Nazi Germany, and the Nazis who are sitting in the box in the theatre call up the star. They want to meet him during the interval, and there's a bit where he arrives in the Nazis' box, and he's still still made up as the devil, and he shakes hands, and it cuts down to the audience looking up at these Nazis shaking hands with the devil. It's an incredible scene, and that was the mood in the pub when I shook hands with Paul Henry in Birmingham. Look, it was shock and awe in Birmingham. Remember, this is it wouldn't have happened anywhere else. So he's. I suppose he was one of those. And if I want a chiner, I do have a chiner.
Miss Diane.
Yeah, that's when he wanted a Chinese meal.
Oh.
Which, somebody accused him of being and getting ideas above his station.
That's what Absolute said to us, and we ordered croissant. Remember, there was an urban myth about us having all pastries. There was at this station.
As urban myths go.
It wasn't
all
the
right.
best.
No, they could have
Frank
stretched it.
Skinner has croissant.
Didn't take a hit on that one, did we?
I was in Tommy Hill Figure. Is it Figure or Figer?
Yeah.
Hell figure.
Go figure.
Yeah.
I was in Tommy Hill Figure.
Not Timmy, darling.
Timmy Jimmy! Do you remember that in South Park? It was very fun. Anyway, I was
Imagine if we said that, how he'd shout at us.
Oh,
What
no,
about that
you
episode of Seinfeld?
You're right.
Remember that
You're
South
right.
Park? It was
did-
hilarious.
It's my bad. It's my
Okay.
Breaking Bad.
Oh, Mr. Yankee Dougal, suddenly.
So I was in there and I was eyeing a sheepskin.
My bad, remember South Park?
I think Frank's now being played by someone else, and this is an episode of Quantum Leap or something. Like, my bad.
So I was in Tommy Hilfiger.
And he's talking about Tommy Hilfiger.
And I was looking, you know that sheepskin coat of mine?
Yes, I do.
Remember her? Well, I was going to try it on so I pulled it on the rack and an alarm went off. And I stood in the shop holding this thing. And there was 4 guys worked in there, all young, good-looking, very well-dressed black guys. And such was the level of their coolness, they were unable to run towards me. They had to walk up. It was like the slowest response to a shop alarm of all time. They just sidled over and told me to put it back on the rack.
Oh.
It was a beautiful moment.
Did you buy it slightly out of spite? I've done that.
No, I wasn't angry with them. I liked the way they handled it all so calmly.
Okay.
I just bought it because I like the idea of having a sheep on me.
Oh, it suits you.
Frank Skinner on the radio.
I went to a party once, and the lady had... there was a lady there in evening wear, and she had the tag on. I say a party. It was a party thrown by Domenico and Stefano. That's Domenico Dolce and Stefano Gabbana.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
wow.
is it?
Dolce and Gabbana
Well, as long
event.
as it was their label, I suppose it's all right.
Well, yes, but you sort of have to wear Dolce & Gabbana to one of their events. That's sort of the thing. It's
Okay.
considered
Do
bad
you?
manners not to. Yeah, it's
Oh.
considered very bad manners. So, yeah, sorry about that, Al. But
I'm
she
gonna have to
turned
put
up
that
and she
in
had
my
a sort of
diary.
coat dress. It was a journalist for the Sunday Times.
I was
think.
invited to Steve Penk's once. I had to wear a purple suit. Anyway,
But
carry
she
on.
had the tag still on, a security tag. They'd forgotten to take it
Oh.
off where she'd bought. And I said, I don't think you can wear that. She said, I'd rather wear this with the tag on than
Oh,
something
really?
else. Yeah.
So she knew it was there.
Yeah, so she went round with the tag. I mean, it was huge. It was on the back, this big black
Oh,
security
wow.
tag sticking out.
Did it look cool though, the time?
No, it looked absolutely awful.
I'd have decorated it so that everyone knew I knew.
What
I'd have just
Domenico
written-
and Stefano thought, I don't know.
I'd have just
Because they don't
written-
speak very good English.
No.
I'd have written D and G
But
on
they
it in
think it- they all
silver
think in
paint.
English.
That's what I'd have done.
Sorry?
I'd have written D and G on it in silver paint. You know that one where you have
really
to press the
quite
nib
badly.
just to...
Yeah.
Just, I'd have
That's a
just done
great
that.
idea.
Faced it out. That's what I do. I'm all about facing
I'd have
it
written
out. mate.
G and D and caused a big row between them.
Oh, it was a sort of cross shape.
I've said to you it should be G and D. Don't start with that again.
Kind of into Joe Dolce.
I once packed...
Oppressione.
Hashtag press.
Oppressione.
I once packed and went away to do a comedy club in Cardiff, and I put in 2 different brown Clark's shoes, but one right and one left. And I was killing time on the afternoon. I thought, I'm just wearing these. So I just wore 2 different shoes.
How did they look?
Odd.
Did people think,
I mean, literally odd.
by
They looked
definition,
odd. Yeah.
did people think, do you think that was a sort of statement that you were making because you were a quirky comic?
Well, what I thought
You
was...
know, people who wear different coloured socks. Like
It's a bit
deliberately.
Emo Phillips, maybe.
I thought, I'll just go to the cinema where nobody will see them. So I just went to the cinema. And I had trainers for the gig, so I was all right. It's fine. Sometimes life's not that bad, is
one
it?
can
Just
get
What
get on
on
about
with
when I got interviewed about Kate Middleton's style? And it was, I had hair and makeup done lovely, all perfect. Only afterwards someone at Install said, Emily, you've got your top on inside out.
it. Oh.
It's shown about 14 times a year, this clip.
But that became fashionable, didn't it? The inside out top.
Did after I wore it.
I once was meeting a mate for lunch, and I arrived, and he did. You know the Mr. Spock, that sort of V.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's he said? Peace and whatever. The Mr.
I feel confident our listeners will
the,
know.
the Mr. Spock. Anyway, the Mr. Spock thing, yeah. And I don't know why he'd done it. And I realised I'd got Star Trek socks on both legs. You know when you have the trousers slightly stuck in the sock.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I got them on both legs. They were Star Trek. From the waist down, I was Star Trek. Oh, dear.
Frank Skinner on the radio.
I thought, you won't believe this. I saw a woman the other day in Camden, young woman.
Oh, yeah.
And she had like a big hole in the knee of her jeans. Not one knee, but both knees.
No.
They were all torn at the knee.
Oh, my goodness.
Can you... I mean...
Did you bring it up? I hope you did.
I mean, I thought, what kind of friends wouldn't tell you about that?
It's very difficult to buy jeans without rips now.
Were her knees grazed at all? Do you think she just had a stumble?
I mean, I could still see slight reddening from her morning prayers. But, no, it was a peculiar... And then I saw another bloke. You could see his underpants.
Oh.
You wouldn't complain if that was Bieber, though.
He's gone out now. That's different. That would be different if he even bothers. I bet he's. I imagine he's in the Maidley section.
Frank, live long and prosper.
Thank you. Of course.
One of our readers still living at home. Thank you for that.
No. I should have. That is so unjust. Live long and prosper.
What's wrong with living at home? Live long at home.
I had a big soul searching about whether the Frankenstein monster would have worn socks. Really tortured myself. You can't imagine him putting on socks.
Hey, Frank, what did you wear for this shoe?
I wear just a big chunky boot.
Lovely.
Oh, well. Yeah, he's sensible, sturdy shoe. That's him.
I don't want to see the Frankenstein's monster in flip-flops.
No, exactly. Or a winkle picker.
What about court shoe? Pink beret.
So, I wonder what his pants was like.
What, Frankenstein monster?
You want to see horror, you want to see his pants. Anyway, look, enough of this. And thank you so much for listening this morning. And you know what? If the good Lord spares us and the creeks don't rise, we'll be back again next Saturday morning. Now get out.
Hear the Frank Skinner Show as it happens. Saturday morning from 8 until 11 on 105.8 FM in London and the South East.